guys, Shane Clips 97 here, and I just wanted to show you guys something that I realized when I was messing around with some Shadowplay. So I use Shadowplay to do some streaming, but I really use Shadowplay to do my recording. I use OBS to do most of my streaming. Shadowplay is awesome for recording. Between the shadow capture or whatever it's called, shadow time, where you can capture like the last 10 minutes or however many minutes of your gameplay just by hitting a button real quick and it just automatically saves it, whether you were recording or not. So, if something happens in the game and you want to, it's really good for capturing those when you want to do a montage or anything like that, or if you want to capture something really awesome just happened and you want, like, man, I didn't have the recording running. Boom, hit the button. Shadow time captures the last X amount of minutes, whatever minutes you set up. Just like Xbox does with the record that function. If you're playing on your Xbox One, you can say Xbox record that. It'll do the last 30 seconds. That's all it'll do. This you can control how many minutes or time, how much time frame you want to do of. It's great for making clips of stuff instead of having to record and then, stop the recording the moment something good happens and knowing that, oh, all my good clips are going to be at the last few minutes of my recordings. So this really helps keep hard drive space small and stuff like that. Also, I'm using it to make this video right now, and I've really started using it to make my gameplay videos for YouTube because it does a really good job of not taxing my system while I'm recording. Because when I'm recording, I want to do 60 FPS, 1080p. And with OBS, that really tanks my machine when I'm using it on my same machine. I'm not like all these other, high-end streamers or high-end YouTubers. I don't have a second box right now set up. I have a really high-end gaming box, and I want to use that to do these videos. So the one thing that I noticed was all the time I had problems, issues with my TeamSpeak friends being louder than me and my game being really loud. And it wasn't like OBS where you could control the individual settings of the volume. I mean, this is pretty much all you get. So when it comes to Shadowplay, you can click here to record your desktop, and you can basically when you're not in Shadowplay mode, in other words, when you're not enabled right here, or you're not streaming or recording. You can come in here and you can put your status indicator where you want. So mine's down here, and you can put your FPS counter where you want to, and you can position your camera, and then you can control the size of the camera. It's not as nicely set up as OBS, and that's why I don't really use it for streaming because I can't put a lot of things into it. But when it comes to making gameplay videos, or if you want to record awesome stuff to do montages and stuff like that, Shadowplay really is the way to go. I mean, the quality is amazing on the Shadowplay recordings. I've only used OBS, and for a free option, it's amazing. You can't beat it, and it really does allow me to record at a high rate, 50 megabytes a second with really high-end 60 FPS quality recordings, and I don't take a hit. I maybe lose 2 to 3 FPS at most. With OBS, I'll drop 10 to 15 FPS, no problem, easy. So, one thing I always had an issue with, though, like I said, was the audio. So if I had something playing, it was horrible. What I would do is I would increase my mic, boost my mic, and then you'd pick up like my fans, or you'd pick up like other stuff, and it was just I was always fighting this situation. So let me show you what's happening now. So you'll see that in your if you go down here to your mixer settings, which this is where like you control your levels of your audio. So you should already be doing this anyway. You should be coming down here, and when you have TeamSpeak, TeamSpeak should always be a little bit lower than um, you should always be maxed, right? Like normally in OBS, you would record you, and then you would make sure that TeamSpeak is set a little lower so that TeamSpeak's always a little quieter than you, and then you would set your game a little bit lower than that so you could always hear your buddies over the game and stuff like that, okay? So what I was finding out is this doesn't have this, so I always like, well, NVIDIA capture server. Okay, well, I want NVIDIA to capture 100% of the sound, and then I would set all these levels independently. But there was like real no way to set my game level over me. Like it didn't matter how much I lowered my game level, I was always quiet in compared to my game. And my TeamSpeak friends were always louder. So let me show you an example, okay? I've got a YouTube video loaded up. This is just ambient sounds, okay? And I'm going to run this thing at 50%. And it's going to drown me out. Watch. So I'm still talking my normal voice. You guys are probably barely able to hear me, if at all, right? So if I actually lower this a little bit, see, now, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear me a little better. You probably will because this is a third source. But, um, you know, you don't want to try to play your game at ultra low sound because then you can't hear. And the quality of the recording, like there's going to be no sound in the video when you record it. Like when I played this back, there's going to be almost no ambient sound. So let me jack this back up, okay? Now let me show you what I do. This is how you fix it basically. This is how you control the sound of your games compared to you on these recordings, where you do your audio from your mic and your audio from your game in the same one. So you'll hear me right now. You can barely hear me, okay? Come over here to capture setting. Now watch this. As I lower this, look at this. Now, it's still really loud for me in my ears, okay? But it's not nearly as loud for you guys. And if I come down here and I lower it all the way, you're not going to stop hearing me. You're just going to stop hearing the desktop or whatever NVIDIA is capturing. So I'm still playing at my normal volume with my voice. And you'll see as it goes up, you lose me again. And then as we come back down, it fixes itself. So that is basically how you control the volume of you compared to your videos when you're trying to make NVIDIA Shadowplay videos. That's the way to do it. It works perfectly. I stumbled across it last night just messing around, and I don't know why I didn't think of messing with this, but in my mind I thought, well, NVIDIA Capture is, you know, how much sound is it capturing? I wanted to capture all of it. I don't want it to capture half of the quality of everything, you know. So that's how you do it. If you guys are struggling, I mean, it's that simple. And you'll notice right here, I go back up and I go back down, and you'll notice that as I go up and down, you'll hear me and then you won't hear me. And I mean, it's great, man. It works awesome. So if you guys are struggling, or you have any other questions, or you need any other information about Shadowplay or recording your stuff, I've only been into it for about 6 months to a year, but I'm having a blast and I'm learning a lot of stuff. So if you guys need any help, let me know. This is Shane Clips 97 signing off. Everybody have a great day.